Wisconsin my first year of asphalt racing for a month, because you could race 5 nights a week, and you know it was only $400 to win, so you did not bend a tie rod because of the cost, and you also, because I didn't do it because I was still a kid and didn't drink, but those guys like to go to the tavern and drink all night, party all night, and sleep all day and not have to work on the race car, and then race the next night. And they had a ball, and I learned a lot, you know, through all that. And I worked on my own cars and hung my own bodies and did my own paint work, and had a lot of pride in my cars. And I never really shook the I don't know what you would say, the shame or disgust of just tearing stuff up for no reason.
Amen. Amen. I remember, I believe, if memory serves, this was fairly early in your ASA career. Probably the only time that an injury has kept you out of a race car for any stretch of time. I remember you walking around with casts on both legs for a while there. It wasn't a racing crash, but it was kind of in a weird way racing related, right?
Oh, gosh, jog my memory.
Didn't you? I was a kid at the time too. Didn't you get like hit by a tire or something?
No, my dad did. It
was your dad. That's right, it was your dad.
But I got in an accident and broke my left foot and ankle in 4 places, and it was in a cast. And I couldn't afford to not race, but I was out of the race car.
Right. Oh, them cars down there.
You know, we got this Art Go race coming up at La Crosse, and what do you think about putting Darrell Waltrip in your car? And I says, well, we can do that. We'll break the track record and we'll win the race, because last time I was up there, the car was way too loose, and we broke the track record and won the race. We're going to be a lot faster this time, and so I know we'll do it, and I get all the money and, you know, the winnings, and so, okay, we'll do that. So my dad piled up in a Suburban driving me to La Crosse, Wisconsin from Batesville, Arkansas, and he's at a gas station. I'm in the Suburban with my foot elevated in the back, and he's at the Coke machine putting money in it, and he hears a doing, and about that time he gets hit by a boat trailer tire and wheel that came off the interstate, came all the way in and hit him and knocked him and broke his leg.
So now you got 2 guys, 3 broke legs between you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And so we take off down. Finally, when he gets back from the hospital, he takes off down the road driving. He's in so much pain. I'm like, dude, pull over. I gotta drive. So I put my foot on the dash, or left foot on the dash, and I drove. And then we're going into a hotel room with pillows and crutches, and it was just the 2 of us. We went up there and we broke the track record, and we won the race.
Amazing.
With Darrell Waltrip.
Amazing. Tried your hand at NASCAR beginning in 81, ran, I guess, 5 races with a team that I've now learned was officially owned by Bud Reeder. I always thought that was your team.
It was my team. What I did back then was I got somebody to purchase the car, because I couldn't get the cars free, and I didn't have the money. So Bud bought one of the cars, and that was it. It was in my hands.
Owner and namer only.
And then when I finished with it, I gave him back what was left of it. So it really was my team, but it was called, you know, Bud Reeders.
5 races, as I mentioned, 2 poles, Nashville and Richmond, 3rd place finish at Martinsville. Made it look pretty easy for a kid that was just getting his start in NASCAR. Went full-time in 82, ran for Rookie of the Year in the Apache Stove car, and discovered it wasn't all that easy after all. Huh?
Let me tell you how easy it was in 81. We built that car. We built it just like my late model. We used my late model ASA team, pit crew and all. We used no NASCAR crew chief. Nobody that knew anything about NASCAR.
Really?
The first race I went to, I had never been in the pits of a NASCAR race. We qualified 5th. The very first one. I forgot to turn the rear end cooler on. We burned up the rear end because we didn't run rear end coolers in late models. The second race we went to, we blew up on the first lap. The 3rd race we went to, we sat on the pole. And then we went to Martinsville with Chevrolet single piston brakes. And
oh, that's not good.
And we led 44 laps of that race and ran 3rd to Harry Gant and Darrell Waltrip with those brakes. so it went just as easily as everything else that I had ever done in racing. And I thought, yeah, I don't have a sponsor for NASCAR, but I'm just a few races away from winning a race, and everything's going to fall.
We'll make enough in purses to pay for this.
And we'll make enough in purses. And I did have help on the engines, and I did have some help on some cars, and we waited in there and went broke immediately, and things fell apart. And I was too stubborn to go to a limited schedule, which Darrell Waltrip begged me to do, and I wouldn't do it. And I run myself, completely broke, and had to have an auction at the end of the year and sell off everything that I had acquired through my racing career to pay off my tire bill and Hutchinson Pagan parts bill and whatnot. So and I had to start all over again. And when I went back to Ray Dillon, which was my chassis builder and ASA, he said, "Mark, the days of free cars are over." And you're talking about rough.
You didn't have any money.
I didn't have any money, and I didn't have any way to restart my career. I did have engine support.
Right.
Thank goodness, to prototype engines and run them.
More with Mark Martin when our SiriusXM Speedway Legends conversation continues.
Don't bring your old bills into the new year. Get cash at WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com can help you get up to $5,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is available 24/7 with an A rating from the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you can rely on from emergency cash. WeFixMoney.com. Get up to $5,000 when you need it at WeFixMoney.com. Type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. Trust the name you know. WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com.
The college football playoff semifinals run SiriusXM. Tonight at 7:30 Eastern, Miami squares off against Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. Then tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern, top-seeded Indiana takes on Oregon in Atlanta.
Touchdown Ducks.
Get your channel numbers at SiriusXM.com/sports or search college football in the SiriusXM app. And for expert analysis, check out College Sports Radio Channel 84.
Racing fans, let Pat the Racing Guy Patterson jumpstart your weekend with a front stretch on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. Get the latest racing news, comprehensive conversations, and all the information you need on and off the track. It's the front stretch, weekends on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90. Brought to you by Chumba Casino. Visit ChumbaCasino.com and rev up the fun. Only available in permitted states, AT&T. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus terms and conditions apply.
Chumba Casino is now partnering with 2311 Racing. Chumba is always free to play, no purchase necessary. Find hundreds of online social casino games like blackjack, solitaire, and slots, with new games dropping weekly. Grab your free daily login and welcome bonus with a chance to redeem amazing prizes. Play for free today at ChumbaCasino.com. It's time to Chumba. Only available in permitted states. See terms and conditions. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Is life insurance part of your New Year's resolution? Be honest, right now your treadmill is holding 2 jackets, a backpack, and last year's broken resolutions. Listen, if you're young and healthy, any rookie life insurance agent can sign you up while scrolling TikTok. But if you're 50 to 60 trying to impress the new trophy wife, yeah, you need Big Lou, a term provider. Big Lou isn't here to bait and switch you. Nope, he tells you straight. Somehow finds a way to save you money and get you covered. $1 million of life insurance coverage could be as low as $200 a month. That's cheaper than that gym membership you haven't used since the Obama administration. Start this year off with $1 million of life insurance. Call Big Lou at 800-244-0909. 800-244-0909. Remember, Big Lou's like you. His resolution is to please his trophy wife, too. For affordable term life insurance for you, call Big Lou at 800-244-0909 or BigLou.com.
Hi there, I'm Stu Sakowitz, owner and inventor of Pine Valley Orthotics. I'm a licensed professional, and if you're struggling with foot pain or plantar fasciitis, you need to call me for a free consultation. I even answer my own phone, 866-443-7463. They're $99, and if I can't make your pain go away, I will happily refund your money. Or go to PineValleyOrthotics.com and order a pair today. Your feet will thank you as much as I do.
This is Chris Buescher, the latest NASCAR news and information can be found right here on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90, and the SiriusXM app.
Welcome back to our SiriusXM Speedway Legend conversation with Mark Martin. We talked about that 82 season where things came thoroughly and completely apart. A little bit of stubbornness on your part, as you said, and then had to liquidate everything. Had to go back to ASA, where you basically had said, I don't ever want to go back there. I don't want to do that kind of racing anymore. That's a big old heap of help in a humble pie right there.
That was the hardest, that was the hardest lesson I ever learned, and it was also the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm really afraid of who I would have become had I not gone through that failure.
How so?
Well, times were different back then, and I was not humble. I had no reason to be humble. I wasn't the same person I was after I had been crushed, and crushed to my knees, and had to fight my way back. Now, I did have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder on my fight back, because I didn't feel like it should have ever happened. I felt like that, as successful as I had been, I should have been allowed to fail like that. But stuff happens, and NASCAR did not need young drivers. Went looking for young drivers, and Bobby Allison and Darrell Waltrip and Richard Petty and Benny Parsons. They weren't.
Harry Gant was the young guy.
They weren't ready to retire yet, so there was no room for the next guy, and so I think it was good for me. I know it was good for me. It was hard, but it was good.
Did a little bit of racing. You won that fourth championship with ASA with Jimmy Fennig as your crew chief. It's amazing how many people that went on to become big names in this sport worked with and for and around you during the course of your career.
Well, I was very fortunate to work with and around some of the greatest people that have been in motorsports as well. And the thing about Jimmy is we worked together 2 years. Our second year we did get the championship. And as that year was winding down, I was getting offers to go nationwide racing, and he was getting offers to be a Cup crew chief. And he would stay if I would stay. And I couldn't do that to him. And for me, it was a risky move because I'd already done NASCAR once. But it was a little bit more lucrative than what I was doing. And what I was doing, I was at the ceiling. I mean, I was at the top, and it was never going to be, I had a family of 4, and it wasn't going to be anything more than modest for us. And so the way I looked at it is Jimmy had to go do his thing, and I needed to go try this and see if I could make the second time stick.
Slowly but surely, that's exactly what you did. 85, 5-race Cup deal with Jerry Gunderman, had a top finish of 11th, had an outside pole in Atlanta. 87, full-time Busch Series ride with Bruce Lawmaster, the BA Lawmaster team. Couple of wins, 9 top 10s, 4th in points after 15 races in that season, and then 7 DNFs in the final 12. 4 blown engines, if I read the records right, dropped you back to 8th place in the standings. I know it wasn't the way you wanted to end your season, but it did catch the eye of a pretty important guy named Jack Roush.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky too. I want to give props. I always try to do this to Bobby Allison. I wasn't Jack's first choice. Jack asked around, and Bobby Allison told him, "You should get Mark Martin to drive that car."
Who was his first choice? Do you know?
Probably Bobby. I know he talked to Bobby. I know he talked to. I think he talked to Jeff Bodine. Jeff was interested in what he was going to pay. This guy, that guy was interested in that. When he finally called me to come meet him, we talked. We looked at the dyno cells. We talked about his plan, the people, what he was going to do, how he was going to do it, the testing, all those things. We stood up and shook hands, and I went home. And I never asked, "Oh, are you gonna? Do I get paid or do I do this? for
He's
free?
told us this story that he eventually called you back after realizing a couple hours later that you had left the building and you hadn't even talked about pay. Didn't care.
I just wanted the chance, and that's probably really why I got the job. I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to win, and it was so hard to win. We ran second like 5 or 6 times. When we finally got that win at Rockingham in '89, it just felt like I said my life is fulfilled. I mean, you know, it had just been so hard to do, and it still is today. It's amazing how hard these things are to win.
I think the answer to this one's pretty obvious based on what you said, but when you finally get to the top of the mountain and you win that race at Rockingham in '89 and you're finally a Winston Cup Series winner, did the fact that you'd been taken to your knees not too many years before that make it all the sweeter?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it made me appreciate it so much more. I just don't know who I would be had I not been knocked to my knees. I just don't know. I'm not sure. I know that humbling experience was important. No, it happened for a reason. It had to have happened for a reason, and I think it was to make me a better person.
Third in points that year, '89. You had to be thinking championship for the following year, or at least most of us were. Had a new sponsor in Folgers in '90, won at Richmond, and then again knocked to your knees in a whole different way. NASCAR penalized you 46 championship points for what they said at the time was an illegal carburetor spacer. A lot of time has passed, a lot of water's gone under the bridge. What really happened that day to bring all of that about?
There's a lot of components to that, but the biggest thing is that Robin Pemberton was a car chief, and at that time they were allowing you to weld onto the top of the intake manifold as much as you wanted to raise that up. There was a rule that said you could only have a 2-inch carburetor spacer, but they had kind of blown that rule off by welding,
8 inches on the manifold.
8 inches on the manifold. Sure. So when Robin put the air cleaner on the car with a 2-inch carburetor spacer, the air cleaner didn't fit the hood. It needed to be, so he put a 2.5 on it. Bolted a 2.5 on it. Should have been fine. You could have welded it on, whatever. But Bill France Sr. was not there, and the call was made by our heated competition that were very, very close to him, and told him, what the deal was, and so they came down on us. And the way they did it was they gave us first place 1 lap down. That's how the 46 points came in.
First place.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
first car.
Deduct 1 lap from where you'd been.
That was their penalty on the thing. That's how they came up with that. That was the second race of the season. No one knew that I would lose the championship by 26, and that I would have won it by 20 if they would have handled it in a fine or any other way. Ultimately, it had no effect on the performance. Ultimately, it really should have been something that should have been clarified and moved on. But NASCAR, is a great organization, and they do what they do, and they did what they did, and I took it. I took my lumps and moved on.
Last thing I want to do is put words in your mouth, but you kind of left something hanging out there that I'll kick myself forever if I don't ask. You said words to the effect that one of your heated competition kind of got the ear of Bill France Sr. The man you raced all year for the championship was named Earnhardt. Is that kind of who we're talking about?
It wasn't Dale Earnhardt.
No? Someone might have known him real well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might have been somebody that did.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
More with Mark Martin. Sirius XM Speedway Legends conversation continues.
Your home for NASCAR. Your home for NASCAR. Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Sirius XM NASCAR Radio.
Well, I hope everybody's getting
Channel 90. educational more.
The biggest stories in the league is Sirius XM NFL Radio.
This is Jim Miller, and I'm Pat Kerwin from Moving the Chains.
Wildcard weekend is set, and nobody has it covered like SiriusXM NFL Radio.
And we're covering the latest coaching news around the league.
Some real positives when you go back and look at Jackson Dart's body of work. That's why I think that Giant job is very attractive to a number of head coaching candidates.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the Sirius XM app.
Imagine you're on vacation with your sweetheart. You gaze into her eyes and you see a beautiful sunset. You're in love. What if you could feel that way every day, or at least be reminded of that in love sunset vacation feeling? You can with my brand new Sunset 24-karat gold dip rose. Picture it, a rose that perfectly captures the sunset hues, going from deep purple to vibrant pink to soft orange. It's nothing like you've ever seen before. In my opinion, this is one of the most special roses we've ever produced in the last 45 years. Hi, it's me, your pal, Steven Singer. Yeah, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. I'm here to make your Valentine's Day romantic, unforgettable, easy, and fantastic. Gift her the colors of the setting sun with my new Sunset 24-karat gold dip rose for just $89. Free shipping, personalized love note from you, guaranteed for life. Visit me at the other corner of 8th and Walnut in Philly, the village of Newtown, Bucks County, or at IHateStevenSinger.com.
Bespoke Biologics invites you to make 2026 the year you take control of your health with advanced next-gen stem cell options designed to support healthy aging. And